Hi, I'm Victoria Lougheed, and I'm the Education and Learning Lead for Family Caregivers of British Columbia. Welcome to Leaning In to the Emotions of Caregiving. Today I'm going to be talking about three of the emotions of caregiving: anger, guilt, and defensiveness. These can come up in your caregiving relationship, and it's best to have a look at them, uncover them, expose them to the light, and find ways to deal with them so that they don't become bigger problems and cause lots of trouble with your care recipient and with your feelings about yourself. Give me a moment here and I'm going to load my presentation and we'll start having this leaning in discussion. All right, caregiving can bring up a lot of complex emotions. You're in a relationship with your care recipient, and inevitably, pieces of that relationship are shaped and changed by your caregiving role. This can cause unpleasant and difficult feelings to come to the surface. Left alone, these feelings can build into issues and explosions of temper that feel like they've come out of nowhere. It's important and mentally healthy to lean into our feelings and look at how we can address them so they don't negatively impact our caregiving or our care recipient. Anger. Some people outly show their anger more than others, but almost no one is never angry. Whether you show your anger quickly or it builds and builds and builds to some kind of explosion later on, anger needs to be dealt with. What causes anger? Well, we get mad for reasons that are both direct and indirect. It can be anything from someone that we're having to interact with who's cranky or rude to us, or getting an unfair criticism, or having one too many things go wrong in a day. Or it can be something like just too many nights of poor sleep, being frustrated over a lack of control, feeling pent up disappointment or resentment. All of these things can bubble up into anger. Well, what are the risks of anger? Chronic anger and hostility have been linked to high blood pressure, heart attack, and heart disease, digestive tract disorders, and headaches. Anger that builds up unexpressed can lead to depression or anxiety, while anger that explodes outward can jeopardize our relationships and even harm others. Managing caregiver anger not only helps your own well-being, but it makes you less likely to take out your fury on your loved ones. So what can you do? Rather than trying to avoid anger, learn to express it in a healthy way. Simple, deep breathing exercises can channel mounting anger into a calm state. For example, talk yourself down with soothing chants. It's okay, let it go. Ask yourself if there's a constructive solution to the situation that's making you angry. Is a compromise possible? Would being more assertive in this situation the next time it comes up help you deal with it better and feel a sense of control? Is this something you can just laugh at and make light of? Sometimes laughing at absurdities or idiotic behavior can provide a healthier biological release. Guilt. Oh, guilt is unavoidable. You try to do it all and you can't. It's often not possible for you to do it all. And honestly, expecting that you can is setting yourself up for failure. But you try. And then when things don't go smoothly and your care recipient struggles, especially then, well, you feel guilt. Guilt stems from doing or saying what you believe is the wrong thing. You said something, stuck your foot in your mouth, you've said something and hurt somebody's feelings. Guilt can also come from not doing what you perceive to be enough. Essentially, not meeting an expectation you've set for yourself as a caregiver. Often, caregivers burden ourselves with long lists of self-imposed shoulds and musts, but we seldom dig into why we're doing this to ourselves. For example, we say things to ourselves like, I should make more time for visits. I must keep mom out of a care home. I mustn't lose my patience with dad. What are the risks of guilt? It's a very corrosive emotion because you're criticizing yourself over faults that are imagined or couldn't be avoided, and well, they make you human. It's not helping you one bit. How can you change your perspective? What can you do? Lower your expectations of yourself. You can't do everything, and you can't be great at everything. When you feel that pang of guilt, stop and ask what's triggering that. Was it a should? Was it an unavoidable situation? Sometimes it is. Give yourself a bit of leeway here. Guilt simply will come up at times. Try to befriend that gap between perfection and reality. Own that you can't do it all, you can't do it perfectly, and laugh about it wherever you can. Defensiveness. What causes it? Well, gosh, this feeling can be triggered by those pangs of guilt I mentioned earlier. In fact, defensiveness is often a reaction to feelings of guilt. You feel as though you're being criticized, or you've been caught in a failure. Someone has suggested another way to do something, and you're bristling because you feel like you haven't done enough or haven't done it right, and now someone's noticed. Defensiveness also comes from feelings of burnout, stress, or having your perspective questioned. Burnout is something to be especially aware of as a caregiver. It's a very commonly felt stress and feeling, and we can support you in burnout. I will talk more at the end of the presentation about some of the resources that we can offer. What are the risks of defensiveness? Well, it can make you closed-minded, and you risk losing out on real help. You may be too close to the situation. You can't see the forest for the trees. Heck, there might actually be a better way, but your own defensiveness is stopping you from accessing it. How can you change this? What can you do about your defensiveness? Well, try to embrace curiosity. I found that when I step back from that feeling, that tightness in my chest, that kind of tightness in my shoulders that starts up when I feel defensive, I take a breath and then I say, tell me more about that. This gives you a second to collect yourself while the other person who's come to you with the idea or the suggestion launches into a little bit of talking about it. You get to ground yourself and get control of your feelings, and they get to talk, to share, and help you by contributing ideas to your caregiving situation. Tell me more can open up a whole world of options you hadn't considered. You're not obligated to take on a new way of doing something. You don't have to take the suggestion, but just listening to it will help you build a relationship with that person, help you maybe learn about a new perspective or a new way of doing something, and it can add to your team of caregiver supporters. That person is trying to help you. Maybe you can let them. I mentioned that we have resources available with Family Caregivers of British Columbia. The first and best resource we can offer is our caregiver support line. It's free, it's available 5 days a week, and the staff on our line are amazing people filled with empathy and well-trained. They have the time to hear your situation and validate your feelings. They will be able to talk to someone without judgment. You can hear them give suggestions and give you some advice if that's what you're looking for, or you can just talk. Another amazing opportunity can be found in the Learning Center on our website. I would like to just bring you to that website and give you a chance to have a look at it. So this is our website. If you click on the Resource and Education tab and then just follow it down to Caregiver Learning Center, there you will find 4 sections: Read, Watch, Listen, and Take a Class. Under Read, you will find that we have an entire section on the emotional side of caregiving. Many articles, blogs, and tip sheets. If you go back and then click on Watch, we also offer some wonderful videos. Here again is the emotional side of caregiving. Here are some webinars and connection corners, just like the one I'm doing right now. I really encourage you to take a moment to have a look at the resources available on our website and take advantage of the chance to get some of that information, connect with someone who can help you or listen to you, and then get some perspective on the emotions that you're dealing with as a caregiver. I'll be talking more about some of the other emotions that we deal with as caregivers a little later in the month in another Leaning In. Until then, take care of yourselves.